Rakan locked in. Mid lane and bot lane locked in, though LGD unfortunately will not have a good time with support. You imagine the Yuumi and almost certainly the Tam Kench will be banned, forcing them onto the Braum, which I feel like Rakan goes into fairly safely. But yeah, I'm curious to see now exactly what the response is from LGD. He said that Corki can go towards that top side. I don't see that really being Eli's champion. Almost certainly going to Yuki, and we see Camille banned away, DMO forcing themselves to go with this new champion. And I want to see how much of a difference goes towards those. I'm not quite
sure. That is Mark.
That is Mark in a wig.
Yes.
Ah,
looks quite beautiful in it.
Does. Very, very pretty wig. And Nico banned away again. You talked about those big AoE top lane champions that LGD would like to play with Lies. 2 of them banned away. The Jax banned away as well from Natural.
Yeah, the Camille is the interesting one here because we actually haven't seen Natural pick up the Camille just yet. Now Xiaopeng is going to take for an unorthodox initiation. This is one that's very interesting, but he doesn't actually lock it in. I would much prefer something like the Sejuani. The team does lack initiation. They are going up against a full poke comp, but Gala seems to be confident in enough. He says, you know what, my Lee Sin is perfect in mid. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Xiaopeng going to be taking that one up into the jungle again. Again, not broken, don't fix it. Did very well in game 1. Going up against the Jarvan this time, not against the Gragas. So be curious to see exactly how Batman runs with that. Again, very good early game, but not so good transitioning from the early to the mid/late. Braum locked in, like we talked about, as the other 2 main supports were taken away in the Karma and the Yuumi. Not actually regarding the Tam Kench as such a high esteem.
And I like the Braum here a little bit more. I think Braum is more necessary just for disengage. Tristana, don't really see a matchup where this goes.
No, I don't believe it either. Yeah. You could put the Corki up top side, go with the Azir into the mid lane. That's exactly what they're going to do. Potentially you could see the Azir on the top side as well. So there is technically a Corki Azir handshake here, except this time it's on one team.
So this looks like full disengage and poke coming from LGD, and I think compositionally wise, it's a perfect counter against DMO. And I'd be very surprised if DMO don't pick up another form of initiation. I don't think Rakan Lee Sin is necessarily enough, especially after the Rakan nerfs, now that you can't just R-flash whenever you want to.
Ooh, and Natural picks up the Akali. I actually really like this because we saw how well he did it in Game 2 versus Rogue Warriors. He's able to get solo kills. He's able to turn around team fights. He just dances around that Shroud so damn well. And you said a little bit of initiation. If an Akali just jumps at you, that's initiation enough to start something.
Hey, a stun counts, and this is also another side lane split pusher that LGD is not going to be able to answer easily. No one on that team is actually going to have a fun time in the long lane against Akali. So DMO looking for basically hitting 2 answers at the same time, initiation and ability to at least split up the poke comp.
DMO looking to separate the poke comp from LGD. LGD trying to force DMO to a 3rd and final game in this series. You see the fans, a lot of DMO fans in the LGD arena.
Yeah, DMO have been a very popular streaming team. They have very close relations to their fan base. And especially guys like Xiaopeng and Changhong used to stream a lot as well. Mark had a pact with his coach last split. If they didn't make it all the way into the semifinals, they would cross-dress, and that was what they did.
Hey, at least they're keeping to their word. That's all that matters in the end of the day. But again, LGD, they need to try and force something. Lies in, Garvey out. And I want to see more from Batman. We've seen your good early game. We need to see more. We need to see you do what every other top-tier jungler in this entire league can do, and that's transition to the mid with that advantage that you've gained from the early.
This is a game where he just R's and EQs out. He literally doesn't want to initiate for this team. He just wants to keep the distance between him and the likes of the Rakan, possibly the Akali.
We are back onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 2. LGD versus DMO. DMO win, they take the series. LGD looking to force it to 3. last guy didn't get anything. You can hear him just softly just kind of like, and it's like, no, not doing it, we're done. But let's have a quick talk about the, the Cassiopeia updates and why we potentially could see her coming back into the meta.
Yeah, there's a couple things that changed. Miasma, like you were talking about, no minimum cast distance, and also the Twin Fang ratio was improved in the later phases of the game. So she kind of dropped off on the meta. A lot of people forgot about her, but she now packs in a lot more late game carry potential, a lot more impact. However, Cassiopeia has been one of those picks that I find very few mid laners have been able to be successful with her. The Prime 1, I would say, would actually just be Bromby and Icon. Those are like our Cassiopeia players. Gank incoming.
Flash in. We're going to see RD coming in. There's the knock down.
No!
Oh, Battyman! One more auto attack would have done it. But good discipline. DMO bot lane. They don't go any further. That is a unsuccessful gank if I've ever seen one from LGD.
Yeah, and Xiaopeng is going to be running the jungle after this one. He's going to have a massive EXP advantage. This is at least 2 camps ahead at the bare minimum, and likely double scuttles.
LGD, Battyman, you can see what he was trying to do. You've got a lot of burst potential with that double knock, kind of double stun, if you like, with the knock up from Flag and Drag onto a concussive blows stun, but if you're not able to catch on to Gala, it's not really worth it. They burn all of RD's summoners, the flash from Battyman as well. He'll be able to pick up his blue, but like he said, he's already 2 camps behind.
Yeah, and you can see how careful he now has to play this. Walking into his own blue buff, forced to use the scanner immediately. It's like, listen, dear God, please don't be here. Don't be around the corner.
Gotta give the respect.
Yeah, doesn't find him, so, good play on that one, just to be a little bit safe. And even better from Yuki, actually starting to win out on this mid lane quite early.
Azir does have the range advantage, of course, so will naturally have a pushing lane or some kind of small advantage against the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia generally wants to hit level 7 before she is able to really kind of, take over this lane when she gets the mana back onto her Qs. As we see now, DMO saying,
no flash on RD.
No flash on RD, but no initiation available from the side of DMO's bot lane. Very smart there from Xiaopeng just to be backing away.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate on the timing. Minion wave coming just in, so no actual window to get his Q down, and Battyman catches up on level.
Yeah, catches up, but they do have the ward down, so they know exactly where Battyman is. Like that little bit of aggression there coming out from the DMO jungler, seeing if he can just kind of push his advantage, and Battyman hasn't come back past this ward, so they're going to need to assume he's on Krugs or he's still in that bush.
He's going to get a good trade down here, Natural.
Natural getting more Qs. Lies forced to flash. Natural would have killed him had he landed it.
Love the confidence from Natural. A small smile developing when he locked in the Akali there.
Xiaopeng back into this bot side. No vision so far for LGD. This is completely blind. Very underrated seeing the lane ganks as they try and just kind of push it up. Maybe they're looking for a tower dive. Have got a TP available.
Yeah, this is actually one of those very unexpected ganks. You expect the Lee Sin to either be topsides for Scuttle Krugs or just still farming out his their wolves. So I do respect this attempt quite a lot. Usually people don't expect that this timing whatsoever.
Doesn't really lose anything for it either. The way the jungle experience is split as of the moment is that you do have a majority of your XP in that topside jungle. So even if you don't hit your Gromp or your wolves for a long time, it's not really that big of a difference for a jungler.
Good calculations on Xiaopeng. He goes back, Scuttle's still there for him, he spots it out, and at this rate, I don't think Battyman can contest. Oh, actually, he does have the level lead.
I think Battyman's just assuming it was taken. At this stage, he's just like, it has to have been taken at this stage, and doesn't even know that it's still alive, as the Scuttle is a sneaky, sneaky man. Actually, if Rift Herald is a female, does that mean Rift Scuttle is a female?
I don't know.
Can we get confirmation on that from the Riot devs?
Yeah, maybe that's a question for League Ops.
See now, Xiaopeng took a huge chunk off of him. Yuki just roaming down. Now they know the skull is available. They have pressure in the bot side, or sorry, the top side and in the mid. It's going to be an easy camp taken there for Bodyman. Right now, both teams just kind of taking it easy, slowly trying to build up any kind of small advantage that they can. Ends up being about a 400 gold lead for LGD, purely from those double kleptos.
Yeah, and Natural has to feel kind of bad in this lane right now. He actually is a back behind, and he's been forced constantly by the jungler and, of course, by Lies, just to stay in his lane. He's finally going to get the chance. I want to see if he actually needs to use his teleport on this wave, because Lies has the wave in a very good position. He knows Akali is going to force it, so he does get the teleport lead here. Hold on.
Has a teleport advantage, like you said. You can see the Bill's Water Cutlass picked up as the first item there for the Akali. Good respect as well from the Corki. Lies picking up that Null Magic Mantle just to be able to try and survive this lane. And she has the Hex Tech. Not the Hex Tech, the Hex Drinker, excuse me. I was trying to think in my head. I was like, what is it called? So overall, good respect from pretty much everybody on this team. No one really over-aggressing apart from a little bit. And actually, as we look at that, it's Batman that ends up with the CS advantage right now, almost 2 camps ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot used early on from Xiaopeng, and he didn't actually find the extra scuttle. So they just split the scuttle score, and Xiaopeng spent a lot of time trying to go top, forced out by Yuki, and that's why he's behind that much.
Here we go, Bodyman finds himself in the bot side. Gala has already used the Blade Caller as they go in, flash away, Cataclysm down as Gala's now in a lot of trouble, not quite hitting the level 6 that he needs. Bodyman picks himself up another first blood.
Very well calculated from LGD. Bodyman knew exactly how many gap closures Gala was going to use and what his advantages were. Level 5 to level 6 in the 80 carries, and Kramer with the extra damage, able to nail down the kill.
DMO looking for something mid, but you can see once the Feather Caller comes in, nothing much else they can do.
Yeah, and this is sweet by RD as well. Just flash, tag it on with the slow, and it was a clean finish. Even though they didn't get what they wanted was like the early level 2 force into the level 6, where Gala might not have had a flash, but they were still able to get the kill with the flash regardless.
And I like the Jarvan into the Xayah as well. Xayah does have the ultimate to try and, get away from anybody, but you cannot use it to get over the Cataclysm. It's that
always felt weird to me, She's already jumped so high.
It's because it's the sometimes Y-axis, or Z-axis, excuse me. So realistically, League of Legends is only a 2-dimensional game. There is no Z-axis, only sometimes.
Yeah, so essentially what happens is that Xayah's tail feathers are maybe still dragging the ground when she flies up.
If you're trying to justify this, it's just not going to work, unfortunately. We can just call it Riot Games, develop the Cataclysm as a terrain, and unfortunately developed her ult to not go over terrain. That's just how it is. I don't even think it would be that broken. It would literally only counter the Jarvan. That's it.
Really? I feel like in the back of Baron Pit would be so strong.
True, but then technically Arcane Shift would be broken. It's on a shorter cooldown.
Yeah, but it's Ezreal. That's right. He's supposed to be like...
I destroyed your argument.
I had to resort to character fantasies.
Yeah, I had to resort to which one do I like better. Natural needs to be careful. The package is available. Lies. I feel like he maybe thought that wasn't going to hit. Had he known that would have hit, he probably would have went absolutely full force into that Akali.
It's not spotted. Artie finally saw someone.
Yeah, Mark just sitting here. They know that Xiaopeng is here to help him out, so he's not super scared, but the mid lane priority is in favor of LGD as they look to try and get the first Drake of the game. But DMO are in position to contest this. This is actually very dangerous from the side of LGD. Cloud Drake does a lot of damage. You need to be so careful.
Look at that control ward. Lies has a very easy teleport into the pit if he wants to.
Oh, not quite able to get the steal. Cataclysm goes down. The Azir wall hits nothing, and the Scala just keeping Kramer away from this fight. He does stun him up as well. As we got a fight on 2 fronts. It's Braum and the Jarvan who goes down. The TP did come in from Lies. No TP available for Natural, and now Gala's in trouble. He has no flash, has no ultimate, no way out. Flash in though from Mark as he tries to go in to get the ignite down, and Mark picks up the kill. Ends up being a 3-for-1 in favor of DMO, but they lose the dragon.
actually DMO win that 4v5. I'm really surprised by the fighting capabilities of the team. They get into the pit earlier on, and even though they still secure the Cloud Drake from LGD and Bademan, DMO actually getting away with some of these skirmishes. Now, just to watch this again, I like this idea from LGD. However, I did feel like the teleport could have been done a little bit earlier from Lies. So you could see the fight here. Bademan already dead, and pretty much RD being tagged by the ultimate coming in from Twyla as well. So they're already 2 down. Gala wins the solo fight against Kramer, and LGD are trying to claw back the kills afterward. Great blade collar to allow that extra kill onto Lies, and the CS is going to balloon quite heavily into Natural's favor in the top side after that.
Ships in the night there as Mark finds Bademan. He'll just kind of go, evening, sir. Auto attack once each and then back away. But DMO, I don't know if I feel like that was very much worth it for LGD, because the Cloud Drake's one of those weird ones where it's not really worth the fight, because the stats you get from it and the single stats you get from it aren't really worth losing 3 people.
Yeah, I would say DMO actually won that one handedly, because their top side, look at Natural's position right now. 20 CS up in lane, and also no teleport used. He's essentially able to dictate how this side lane is going to go for the future like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before another skirmish breaks out and something else happens to change the equilibrium. He will be very happy in this lane, and this will prevent LGD from using their poke.
LGD definitely hard forcing that fight. Gold dead even. They did get themselves a Cloud Drake, so they will be slightly faster. Gala, you can see DMO, they want to try and force right now. They know they want to try and get this Rift Herald as quick as they can. Probably not going to get it before the 14-minute mark, unfortunately, at this stage. As I say that, though, Flash is not available for Xiao Pang, but he's got a lot of damage onto Kramer. There's the ult. Red buff's enough, and again, we see Kramer getting 1v1 by the Lee Sin.
Deja vu much? Xiaopeng just finds the perfect timing. Always walking around the corners without your support, Kramer. That's a big no-no against Xiaopeng. And once again with red buff, almost similar timings.
Almost exactly the same time. I mean, I'm almost certain it was literally the exact same timing. I think maybe Xiaopeng just has a number on him and goes, right, I know you do this in scrims all the time. I'm just going to keep walking up and see what I can do. But the response from LGD is to try and camp Natural.
Natural's going to be a hard one. With the stun and the Twilight Shroud, they will be able to get him down, but I think that if Natural really wants to make a stand here, he could be able to waste a lot from LGD.
I love this call from DMO. They know they're not going to get plates. They know they just want to go for that tower, so they're going to drop the Rift Herald on top side. Nobody there to defend. Send your duos to the mid lane to defend that, and then Akali is totally fine just pushing up in this bot side. You lose nothing, gain everything.
Yep, it's only a blue buff taken away on LGD's side. They still don't have anyone rotating enough. This is a second charge on Shelly for sure.
Half HP, RD is there. The rest of LGD are kind of coming on top of this. They know that Twyla has no real escape as the flash is down. They should have a timer on that, but that just gives free reign to Natural down that bot side. Akali going to become that split push terror that really it should have been in that first game for LGD.
Yeah, and let's see if Natural can play this matchup a little bit better at this point. DMO, with the control they have in the lanes, I think they're going to start moving into jungle control right now. A very strong start from Xiaopeng. They should be able to split in the side lane, in the top side. I think just sending Twyla there is enough as well. Twyla should be able to find his role against the Azir as well, and Azir is going to have a lot of trouble pushing past the river at this point. So DMO should really be leveraging their split push pressure, their teleport advantage now in the top side, and at least try to find some skirmishes in the jungle.
10 seconds till this mountain dragon is spawned. Lies is here. Lies is gone. Did not want to mess around at any point in time with that particular duo.
I'm surprised he even face-checked after spotting Mark.
Yeah. I think he was pretty safe, but Smite down, used there, but Bademan will have it back in about 10 seconds, but almost certainly the Mountain Drake going over in favor of DMO. They just have too much pressure.
Yep, classical Raptor for Mountain. Strong win on DMO's side, and nothing happening bot here. They also do the force for LGD to take the longer route. This is what happens when you run a poke composition with no priority.
I was going to say, once you lose the priority, this composition kind of falls apart. And Xiaopang, I got to give him props. He's been king of this early game so far. He's been where he needs to be. Yes, he fell behind in CS probably when he shouldn't have, but rotates bot side, makes sure that his Cassiopeia can keep pushing up without any pressure, rotates then towards up to the mid lane, making sure they can keep going with the lanes, making sure that there's a constant CS being lost by LGD.
And I think DMO should at least be able to snowball most of the jungle away from LGD. Like, if you think about LGD's position, they're going to have a very hard time. They can face check infinitely, but walking into any brush that's at some distance away, you risk being just caught out by Mark, instantly killed. So I really do see DMO encroaching more and more upon those buffs. The red buff, as you can see in the bot lane, completely lit up. Natural should be heading there again. Actually, he's going to trade his side towards the top lane. Huh. Although he does have the teleport.
I think he's just looking to pick up the farm right now.
Yeah.
Not really worried about, kind of actually getting the pressure down, like you said. Just knows that there's no real risk of anything being taken. Just try and defend those lanes. Yet for a tower to fall on the side of DMO. Let the lovers duo through. That's fine. Braum, Ezreal, pretty okay response to it. Probably never going to die. You let the Lee Sin go through again, and the Kali, blind picking into it. It's just a very difficult one.
3v3.
3v3, double knock-up. There's the Jarvan trying to turn this one around. The quickness has been used. 2 quick kills. Cataclysm used. Zonia's as well. Bodyman trying to just turn this one around. They get the root. They get the Akali to go in, but they're not able to get the kills. Natural follows Yuki all the way back to nearly his base, and that was a 4v4 at the end of it. DMO coming up top, and they've got pressure on the bot side.
I don't care about the kills. That was full style points to Natural. Well done, my friend. Well done. And DMO just with the outburst of damage. LGD were waiting too, but they were beat, and it was a great engage from Mark. I want to see how he comboed that. I don't even think he actually popped the ultimate. He just went straight in with the W.
And you talked about that in Pick a Ban as well, the initiation that you need to stop this poke pump.
Yep, he just went straight for the W, very unexpected, and afterward popped the ultimate. Unfortunate from Kramer, just the damage was too high, and Xiaopeng had such a great finish onto him. And this is just unfortunate from Yuki. Wow, gets caught in the blade collar, has to burn his flash to get away.
And I gotta shout out Xiaopeng again. Again and again, this guy is just finding so many avenues. You saw it there. It was the Lee Sin kick into the grand entrance from Mark, into just, I think it was the blade collar at the end as well. There was just nowhere, that he could go. There was no damage to be put down or, any way for him to flash away or anything. He did eventually get the flash out at the very last second, but the damage has been done. He can't go anywhere. There was just too much for him to deal with.
Yeah, that was a Q1 WR into Q2 and just touch him and die. Really cool. I love it when Lee Sins use their victims as a skateboard. It always brings a smile to my face.
You shall be a pedestal for me to launch myself to safety.
Yes, sometimes Chaos is a ladder, sometimes Kramer is a ladder.
See now a 3,000 gold lead almost for DMO as they start to really ramp up the speed of which they want to kind of go for this Baron up in 10 seconds. They've got 2 items now onto Cassiopeia. They've nearly got 2 items now onto the rest of their carries as well with the Xayah and the Akali. They've broken up bot lane. That's already been pushed back all the way. And you can see straight away they're trying to get vision dominance on this top side.
We're going to have to force LGD to come over here. I think LGD can actually drag this one out for a fairly long time.
You say that, wow. But the Valkyrie shall be followed. Natural just knowing exactly the limitations of this champion. We saw the highlight reels earlier in the day, and they're going to start off this Baron. They can take it so quickly. You have the Cassiopeia.
LGD do have the poke, but their members are a little bit too far away. DMO, however, they still have Natural showing on the bot side. They do back off for now. And the reason I'm saying that this is going to be a bit hard for DMO is they don't have the strongest of initiations. And once LGD get in range, they can just kind of continuously poke you off. There's no one really tanky enough on DMO to take the Baron damage at this point. So I feel like LGD still have quite a bit of time to prevent DMO from really rushing this Baron. It's going to be incredibly risky for DMO.
DMO just going to take the Cloud Drake. no contest whatsoever from LGD. Next Drake is going to be another Inferno. Sorry, excuse me, the first Inferno. Well, the other one was a Mountain, so you can imagine DMO are going to want to put that in the back pocket with the composition they currently have.
Gotta love Mark doing a risky defense of his own ward. Not gonna let that one fall
Feeling
down
good.
for free.
He knows exactly what he wants to do, and until he gets caught, it's all part of the plan. But good ward there from the side of RD. He's able to kind of sneak it in away from all those pink wards. They have a relative, idea of whether or not it is being done. But LGD, they need more than just information. They need kills. And actually, this could be a little sneaky take right now. There's no real vision on it. We see RD walks up, walks away. They have no idea this has been done. You can do so quickly with the Twin Fangs.
Yeah, the healing from Twin Fangs, that change really...
It's gone.
Yeah.
They can't get on top of it. Cataclysm just to try and break the gap, but Cassiopeia picks up that one, and that's just an easy Baron take. Sneaky, sneaky. DMO, honestly, just looking in control in this game.
That was so surprising. Twyla took literally no damage from that one. Very fast Baron take with the Mountain Drake to boot. And LGD, like me, caught off guard.
Oh, Yuki, they're just going to try and get rid of that Banshee's Veil off him. There it is. It's down. Natural maybe going to go in. Oh! Now that is what I call styling.
Is Xiaopeng a mind reader? Is he psychic?
That's literally, I'm in your head. I know exactly what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. They get the tier 2 in mid lane. They get the 2-2 in top lane. So far, this Baron buff doing as much as it needs to do for side DMO, and LGD, they have no answers.
That was such a clear message sent out. I will outskill you, is what Xiaopeng said right there.
And a quick look at the gold, and you can see top lane, it's only about 600 in favor of the Akali. The big difference is, of course, in that mid and bottom rolls. You can see there's about 1,500 for both of those in favor of the DMO, Cassiopeia and Xayah. And this Cassiopeia, we question it a little bit. The buffs obviously seem to work, and I love the fact that Twilight's just kind of going, you can't ban me out. I've got everything. I'm the OG Doonby.
He certainly has his own style in the game. I'll give him that one. And he never wavers. He always goes for the champions he thinks are good, regardless of meta.
Go ham or go home.
Yeah, frankly, I feel Cassiopeia is just a victim of the rise of Ezreal. It's just that Cassiopeia is a great champion when there's a lot of dive comps that are running into you. Okay, maybe Kramer thinks Ezreal is a dive champion anyway.
Oh, here we go. Quickness has been locked up, and they're going to get everything down onto the Braum. Good Unbreakable, though, stops all the initiation. They also drop down the Legacy of Shurima as well. Good disengage from LGD. You still got to respect them. You still got to give them their due diligence, because they are not out of this just yet.
And it was a double summoner's use on the side of Kramer, so he's going to have to be very careful in the next engagement after this one. LGD looks like they are currently hurting for wave clear.
We'll be able to stall out the Baron buff a little bit. Only a minute left on that. Should not be able to use it to crack open the base as of yet. LGD will be pretty happy with that, in all honesty.
LGD right now, their composition is good. It is a strategical counter to DMO's comp, which is much more of a mid-range composition that punishes people who want to charge into them. But the thing about LGD right now is they're just so far behind, they lack the damage to actually outpoke on DMO. So they're just trying to drag this one out, try to do it safely, and this seems to have been the death brush for LGD. Kramer has lost his life multiple times around this area. You can see Body Man being much safer.
He's had to be perfectly honest. And you know what I'm excited for? Week 11.
What are you excited for?
Week 11, DMO versus SBX, Doonby versus Twyla. Who can do the craziest comp?
Two Cassiopeias. Oh boy. I want to see Kled. Kled's so good.
Kled is very good, but no one yet to play him, or rather no one has yet to show him. We might see now what the next move is. 25 seconds until that dragon shows up. You'd imagine DMO just going to push up that mid wave, go for that, then reset, go for the second Baron. Much stronger than the first. Yeah, I don't really see much for LGD. They need to find the pick. Their poke composition has been as you said, caught out. It's no longer ahead, and unfortunately for them, they need to find a pick to try and stop this game from just running away from them.
I still think they should try and just stay in the vicinity of DMO and try to poke them out. That's the way they're going to get back in the game. If they don't really force themselves into positions like this where they can take advantage of just landing more skill shots, I'm fairly certain DMO is going to be able to close out the game before LGD can ever scale up. So I think LGD need to take a chance.
Mark goes in, miasma down, and that's the Azir going down. Promise soon to follow, and it's going to be Battyman just trying to tank up as much as he can. But deleted! And now Corky lies, will fall. 4 for none. Mark, you absolute beast of a support, and they are not done. Xiaopeng says, I can take down everything. Do you remember this earlier, Kramer?
So one more Q. Can he find the Sonic
No,
Wave?
he can't. He will go down. Unfortunately, he will be the small mark, black mark on the report card of DMO, but they don't lose a single turret. They don't lose a single team fight, and they're going to look for the Baron very, very soon.
Great fight by Mark. Coming in from that angle, you never expect it from behind. You always expect the closer route, the shorter route, just coming straight into your face. But Mark really found a great corner where he was able to hide behind terrain and just go straight into what was the carries for LGD.
Beautiful engage, and look at his position.
Wow, that was such a long trek around and just over the wall. When Yuki finds him, it was way too late. He gets the double charm, and then mid-jungle instantly evaporated. Natural also finds a great execute. The flash was already burned, and he still finds the kill anyway. That's gotta feel bad.
All summoners burn, but what I love from that play is Xiaopeng, one, getting the Banshee's Veil straight away to set up the play, but immediately, as soon as Mark goes in, we see Flash into a 3-man petrifying gaze, just set up absolutely everything. Unfortunately, one little black mark at the end of there as Xiaopeng was definitely feeling the fight there a little bit too much at the end. Felt like he could have done it. Had he landed that Q, it could have been possible. But right now, DMO, they've broken open the base. LGD, I honestly don't know if they can defend this Baron, but they have to if they want to find a way back into this game.
I'm so impressed with DMO's initiations this game. I was talking about this roster against what LGD had. It's actually very difficult to find a fight. But just with the vision advantage, DMO has been able to find these corners of blindness where LGD cannot expect them to come round. And LGD, if they want to survive, if they want to drag this game out, there are going to be times where they need to force their pressing on the map and just drive that mid lane wave. But when they do so, they need to be so much more careful on their flanks, on their backs, and it seems like they've learned the lesson. Look at the amount of control wards they now have around these corners.
Look at the item difference between the Azir and the Cassiopeia. You're 2.5 versus 4 fully completed items. And the great thing about Cassio, she doesn't need boots. She ain't got no feet.
You're supposed to say that Twyla doesn't know how to build Cassio and ask where the boots are. That's what chat does.
Here we go. Natural jumps in, trying to blow someone up if he can. Good EQ combo there from the Battyman, and they get the Glacial Fisher out of the Braum. Good disengage there from LGD. They're not out of this just yet. Few ultimates used.
Actually stops the grand entrance midway. Great play on his part. Gets the knock up, and Mark can't find the charge.
Unfortunately, though, for LGD, does mean the Battyman was chunked out, and that Baron will go down very, very quickly. You've got a Cassiopeia and a Mountain Drake. It's gone. Unfortunately, no vision, no way to contest. LGD going to have to deal with another Baron buff.
Man, it feels like LGD had the perfect answers compositional-wise, but they just couldn't get in striking distance within the laning phase. The laning phase really collapsed a bit too early for them. The early Dragon Flight snowball DMO was 3 for 1 there. They had priority, and then Kramer dying, giving over the Herald to Xiaopeng, snowballed the game further. And I really think Xiaopeng has been doing a great job keeping the pressure on LGD's composition, not letting them run away with a smooth early to mid-game and then letting them get to that Ezreal, Azir, super macro late game.
Now, what is your response, LGD? You've repelled them for so long. It's 31 minutes into the game. You're 10,000 gold behind. You need something to work right now. You have got the potential, but whether or not the execution is there is another story. Yuki, I honestly think that Yuki cannot lose this Banshee's Veil or he dies instantly.
Yeah, the flash plus just the miasma might take him down.
Here we go. Mark trying to go in with the Shurelias.
Oh, Xiaopeng actually very low.
Xiaopeng has got GA, but top lane was being pushed in as well. Kali did go back. TP is available. Most summoners available for the side of DMO. Almost none available for the carriers on the side of LGD.
Oh, look at the itemization from Lies. He's actually struggling for his rapid fire cannon at this point. No IE just hurts it so damn much. Like, LGD are lacking in damage big time.
DMO looking to get some more into their back pockets. They pick up their second Infernal Drake. That means that Elder's going to be the next one to spawn. Inhibitor going to be respawning in that mid lane. Natural also going with that Banshee's Veil. You can see the importance of just dodging that one ability, either the knock up, the stun, whatever it is so important. We even see a QSS build there for Kramer. Safety, it's all about keeping yourself alive. You get caught, you're almost certainly dead, and they're pushing themselves onto this inhibitor turret. Flash in, Cataclysm down. Like I said, you can't get over that with your ultimate from the Xayah, but the Battyman goes down so damn low. Petrifying Gaze hits nobody, but Kramer, like he said, is dead. There's another juke, and they're able to clean up house. Everybody falls. And that's going to be a clean fight for the side of DMO. They're going to take the series 2-0. Nexus Turret 1 fallen. Nexus Turret 2 is down. Do they base dive? They've lost 0 turrets. They lost 0 ground. DMO 4-7.
Wow, that was such a explosive finish to the series. And you can see Xiaopeng definitely happy with that one. Yuki, the victim of mind reading. Telepathy coming out from DMO, actually dodging out on the Emperor's Divide at the very last second. Razor flipping back into the Twilight Shroud was so awesome to witness here from DMO. And they're proving that their style works. They're saying that,